me to it.
Well, yeah, that's because you and I are both from Indiana. We both know that, buddy.
I know.
All right. The peony bush that my mother planted in the backyard right up against the brick fireplace has grown to proportions not unlike Godzilla. It's like Peonyzilla.
And how many years has it been blooming there?
Probably.
Long time.
Oh, it's got almost 30.
That's one of my favorite things about the peonies.
Yeah. Well, this is a new hybrid that truly, truly has changed this flower. These become much more manageable than the bushes that were out there, the tree peony, that tend to go wild on you. But yet these have the hardiness of a tree peony. At $36.40, I will say, if you were to find this type of plant at your local garden center, you're looking at higher end price. You're looking at 80 bucks.
If not triple digits.
Yeah. And I get to introduce you to the family that brings them to us. This is part of Roberta's. That's the Walline family. And Devin is back with me once again. Welcome, my friend.
Hey, Dan.
How are you?
Lovely to be here.
These are awesome.
They are one of my absolute favorite plants that we're offering all year long. And when it comes to hard to find, easy to grow, like everything we do, this fits that bill better than anything, because peonies, well, okay, so imagine a gentleman by the name of Mr. Itoh over in Japan spent his entire lifetime taking the classic garden peony and the tree peony, combining the two, and what he created was this beautiful Itoh peony that looks like it has the growth stature like a garden peony, growing around 2 to 3 feet tall and wide into this beautiful bush. And like a garden peony, these are able to produce dozens and dozens and dozens of flowers, up to 50 flowers on your plant when they're fully established. Okay. However, we all know garden peonies, if you have a heavy rain or wind, they flop.
Yeah, because their stalks were just too weak. They were like the giraffe of plants.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
Their legs were weak. Yep.
But what he did was he created this plant that has the sturdiness and stems like a tree peony, so that your flowers, even though they're about 8 to 10 inches wide and thick and fluffy, there are heavy flowers, but they are on sturdy stems, so they never flop.
This is the first time that I had ever had an opportunity to present these. We've got 3 beautiful colors.
Gorgeous colors.
In which for you to select.
Absolutely incredible. We have the beautiful yellow Bartzella. In front of you is the gorgeous Scarlet Heaven.
You've got to see this. This Scarlet Heaven, it's not a ruby red. It's like a purplish, rich
absolutely,
red.
Absolutely.
That's, oh my gosh.
And then the Cora Louise. Look at these beautiful multicolored flowers. And they're all multi-petaled. They're all deliciously fragrant. And the best thing is what you're starting with. This is what you will receive delivered to your front door in the mail. This is a beautiful 1-gallon pot that we have been growing for the last year. Now, these plants will produce flowers starting the very first year.
Nice.
And they will continue to flower the second year and the third year and the fourth year and the fifth year and the sixth, all like this
for the
is
next
a generational,
25 to 30 years,
No, like 50 to 60 years. These plants will be blooming in your garden for decades.
I absolutely agree. My daughter, I'm really blessed. Her and her husband just bought their first single-family home. Mm-hmm. They lived in a townhome before, but they weren't allowed to plant anything.
Yes.
So
now you can get them some Itoh peonies.
Yes. The idea is to define your property by your selections, your choices. Now, most of us already kind of have an idea of where our gardens are going to be. So what I urge you to consider doing is making this a milestone plant on your property. Find a corner and let this become that softening edge of a corner.
Absolutely. Or right next to your front door, because this plant will be blooming after your garden peonies and after your tree peonies. Look at that as you walk home up those stairs. You're blessed by these beautiful flowers. This is the Bartzella. It is a gorgeous yellow, and it has just some little dashes of strawberry red in the middle, and they are beautifully fragrant.
I can see this as being a butterfly and honeybee attractor like no other.
And human attraction like no other. Out of all of the flowers that we offer all year round, this is one of the absolute most beautiful. And when they are fully established by about that third year, you can expect up to 50 flowers on your plants during its bloom season. How incredible is that?
So let's go back. A regular peony, and you and I grew up with regular Indiana peonies.
Yeah.
They were lovely, but they became wildly overgrown.
And they get floppy.
Yeah, and the stalks were very thin. One decent rain would beat them down, and they'd be gone for the entire season.
Yes.
A tree peony would be having, that literally was like a tree and had nice, sturdy wooden.
But they don't create.
But they didn't create any flowers.
Exactly.
You get 3 flowers on the tree.
Absolutely.
And that's all you get all year.
So now you get the strong stems and all of the flowers, but also a garden peony, in my opinion, the foliage is a little bit kind of boring. After they're done flowering, the foliage just kind of looks kind of boring.
But take a look at the foliage.
Gorgeous. Yes, they have the foliage like
painted
a tree
foliage.
peony. And they're absolutely beautiful. And especially when you consider that you're going to be starting with this wonderful 1-year-old plant. If you were to look online, you could find maybe some roots. And they're going to be about, double or triple the value.
2 years.
And you have to wait.
And you got to
wait.
With these, you'll have flowers this year. And it really, again, defines your property as being very unique.
This is a plant that I would recommend getting about 3 of each color and planting them. Imagine creating a beautiful perimeter around your garden.
You could almost do like a wall of flowers.
Absolutely. I actually have a friend that has they have a peony. I would call it like a peony wall. They have this beautiful kind of stone fencing kind of thing, and it's about 100 yards of only peonies. But they have garden peonies. Imagine if they had known about the Itoh peonies, how much more brilliant they would have been.
But it didn't exist until just a few years ago.
Absolutely. This is a brand new plant, and that's why, that is the Roberta's difference. We bring the plants that you won't find elsewhere. And if you were to find an Itoh peony somewhere else, you would be starting from a root. But what we're shipping directly to your door is this beautiful 1-year-old plant. Look how gorgeous that is. This is going to produce flowers the first year, and then by about the 3rd year, you'll have a plant that looks like this. This is fully grown.
Well, the nice thing, the nice thing is though, is it stops there.
Yes.
So it's a manageable plant. It doesn't get 6 feet high and leggy. So what do they crave? What do they like?
Yes, absolutely. So these grow just like all of the other garden peonies that we have known
so they
and
love
grown.
They
like
full sun.
but they can also handle a half day of sun. And they like about an average amount of rainfall, watering. But once they're established, like your garden peonies, like your tree peonies, the rain that Mother Nature provides is often sufficient.
Nice.
And I do recommend always using the Roberta's Bounty because this...
I'll plug that more than he will, and it's his family's name on it. That stuff is amazing. We've had 30,000 people who picked it up so far this season.
Yeah.
You used to have 2 different types of fertilizer. Now you've combined them. That's highly acidic. That means you get more flowers.
Yes, absolutely. That's exactly what it means. But everything that you order comes with full instructions, which I handwrite myself, so I know that they're full of all the pertinent, correct information, nothing more, nothing less. So it's a cinch to grow.
Look at the size. If you love big flowers, these are big flowers.
They have all of these multi-petals that make them like dreamboats in your garden, and they smell as delicious as any garden peony you've ever smelled.
Oftentimes when you start hybridizing or kind of playing with the science, you don't get that same impact of the smell of the flower.
Right, yeah, something gets lost.
With this, they didn't lose anything.
Yes.
It is truly the culmination of the science. I love this foliage.
The foliage is beautiful.
It's dipped on the edges. On the edges, it's framed in pink.
Has gorgeous
and they're deep, deep, rich colors. The peonies I remember growing up with, again, were your garden variety, bushes.
Yeah.
But they were bigger than me. And every spring we'd have a hard rain, and it would just pummel the poor plant. Yeah.
What's more disconcerting than seeing your peony flowers on the floor? There's nothing worse. But with these peonies, you don't have to worry about that because they have strong, sturdy stems like a tree peony. Now the other thing is if you live like in Southern California or even in the South, in the deep South, well, you can't grow garden peonies in those regions because garden peonies. No, well, well, garden peonies require a freeze in order to set buds.
That's right, that's right.
However, the Itoh peony does not require the freeze. So if you live in Los Angeles, or you live in San Diego, or you live in Georgia, you can grow these peonies and you will be blessed with their beautiful flowers every single spring.
Growing up in Indiana, I had never even thought about that. It's probably one of the reasons why it's the state flower there. I had forgotten that you do need to freeze for regular bush-style peonies.
But at the same time, these are exceptionally winter hardy. So if you live up in Maine, you can plant these right in the ground, and they're going to come back every single year for decades and decades. And look at those beautiful flowers, that scarlet heaven, like you were saying. It is that deep kind of purplish red that it is just a beacon of beauty in the garden all spring long. Imagine getting all three in your garden.
Yeah.
There's my little niece.
There she is. That's the next generation.
That's the fifth generation
that I'll be working with. It is everything that we've ever wanted from a peony in terms of manageability. They don't become too big. They're much sturdier, almost similar, like as you said, the tree peony.
They're so easy to grow.
And they last for decades.
And you're starting with a beautiful, healthy, one-year-old plant that will quickly establish itself in your garden, or you can plant these in containers. I grow one in a large 5-gallon terracotta container.
Normally, I wouldn't have thought that. You couldn't do that with the regular. This is that scarlet. That is the most limited.
Scarlet. I love that one.
If you love red, you won't find more red than this. I have 1,000 of these that are remaining, and that's it for the year.
Well, you know, we haven't offered Itoh peonies for about 3 years because this is a plant that, for one, in order to grow this size container to ship to you, we have to do years in advance of planting, and that's, you know...
They start off as a root.
Exactly.
They've grown that for well over a year. It had to be winterized at least once, and the price is only $36.40.
It is an incredible value. This is truly a lifetime opportunity to get a few of these plants and just put them in your garden and enjoy them for years and years to come. Invite your grandchildren over, your children, and they will be watching those blossoms every single year.
2 days ago, every guy in love or in trouble, that's the way Valentine's Day works, bought flowers for the woman he loves that will die in the next 2 weeks. This can go on for generations.
Show your true love.
Yeah, I'm telling you, this is a plant you buy your mom.
Yes, absolutely.
To say, Mom, I'll remember you forever.
I love you for always.
Yeah, or to commemorate someone.
Absolutely.
And it is a wonderful way of celebrating the birth of a new one in your family.
Yes, there's nothing like the gift of plant life. It is something that we all need to love, to share and enjoy together. And we always want to make sure that you're